They say that every drop of rain carries a memory. Not a human memory, not a story of words and deeds, but something far older. A memory of falling from a cloud, of being drawn from the sea, of witnessing the birth of mountains and the silence of the first dawn. And they say there is a certain kind of rain, one that comes without warning and asks for no permission, that does more than just remember. It erases. It falls not to nourish the earth, but to wash away its tracks, to cleanse the world of the lines we have drawn, the paths we have walked, and the ghosts we have left behind. This is the story of that rain, the rain that offers the world a chance to forget. It begins not with a storm, but with a change in the quality of light. The sky softens, the sharp edges of the world blurring as if seen through a pane of frosted glass. A hush falls over everything. The wind holds its breath. Then, the first drop lands, a single dark coin on the pavement, followed by another and another, until it is not a collection of drops, but a single shimmering curtain being drawn across the landscape. This is not a violent rain. It is patient, deliberate, a liquid ghost moving through the streets and forests with a quiet purpose. It drums softly on rooftops, not with anger, but with the rhythm of a lullaby. It traces patterns on window panes, not of chaos, but of forgotten constellations. It sinks into the soil, whispering to the roots of ancient trees. In our world, we are defined by our tracks, the footprints we leave, the scars we inflict on the land, the echoes of our words that hang in the air long after we are gone. We build monuments to our past and carry our histories like heavy cloaks. We are creatures of the trail, always looking back to see where we came from, terrified of being lost. But this rain does not respect our attachments. It sees the trail of a desperate animal and the asphalt of a highway as one and the same, a mark upon a surface that was once clean. With infinite tenderness, it begins its work. The dust of yesterday's hurried footsteps is turned to mud and then washed away. The faded chalk lines of a child's forgotten game dissolve into a watercolor swirl. The scent of smoke from a dying fire, the residue of a bitter argument, the weight of sorrow that has settled in a quiet corner of a park, all are lifted into the air, diluted, and returned to a state of neutrality. The rain is the great equalizer. It does not judge, it simply purifies. This idea is woven into the oldest parts of our collective soul. Nearly every ancient culture has a story of a great flood, a time when the heavens opened and the world was submerged, washed clean of its corruption, its noise, and its mistakes. We remember these tales as warnings, as stories of divine anger. But perhaps we have misunderstood. Perhaps the flood was not a punishment, but an act of compassion, a planetary reset, a long, slow exhale needed to release the tension of existence. The rain that erases the world's tracks is a microcosm of that deluge, a gentler, more frequent baptism. It is a reminder that everything can be returned to its origin, that a new beginning is always possible, waiting just beyond the next downpour. It is a metaphor for the profound and sometimes frightening act of letting go. The sound of the water becomes a language, a memory of time itself. The soft patter on leaves is the memory of growth, of life quietly unfurling. The steady drumming on a tin roof is the memory of shelter, of safety found amidst the storm. The rush of water in a swollen river is the memory of power, of the unstoppable force of nature that carves canyons and moves mountains. If you listen closely, truly listen, you can hear more than just water. You can hear the echo of every tear that has ever been shed, now returned to the sky to be purified. You can hear the whisper of every secret told under a gray sky, its burden now washed clean. The rain is the blood of the world, cycling through its veins, carrying the stories of eons, and with every fall, it offers a transfusion of purity. It washes the ink of the past from the page of the present. I once stood in such a rain, in a forest so old the trees seemed to be pillars holding up the sky. I had come there carrying the weight of my own tracks, a map of regrets and wrong turns I could not seem to fold away. At first, I sought shelter, as we are taught to do. I hid beneath the broad leaves of a forgotten oak. But the sound, the scent, the sheer presence of the rain called to me. It was not threatening, it was inviting. Slowly, I stepped out from under my shelter and tilted my face to the sky. The water was cool, not cold. Each drop that landed on my skin felt like a touch, a gentle dissolving. I closed my eyes and stopped thinking. I stopped remembering. I simply felt. I felt the rain on my face, in my hair, soaking through my clothes. And in that moment, the boundary between me and the rain began to blur. My own memories, the heavy cloak I carried, began to feel lighter, their threads loosening. The rain was not just washing my skin, it was flowing through me, washing away the tracks I had left inside my own heart. The sorrow, the anger, the stubborn pride, they were all just marks, and the rain did not care for them. It offered no judgment, only release. In that moment of surrender, I understood. The erasure was not an act of violence, it was an act of love. It was not about forgetting who you were, but about being given the chance to become who you might be next. When the rain finally stops, the world is reborn. A profound silence descends, broken only by the sound of dripping from leaves and eaves, like the final, calming notes of a symphony. The air is clean, sharp, filled with the scent of wet earth and new possibility. The colors of the world seem brighter, more vibrant, as if a layer of dust has been washed from your own eyes. You look at the path ahead, and for the first time, it is clear. There are no old tracks to follow, no ghosts to lead you astray. There is only the pristine, damp earth, waiting for your first new step. The rain has not erased you. It has given you back to yourself. It has reminded you that you are not the sum of your past, but the potential of your future. And it leaves you with a quiet promise that no matter how lost you become, no matter how indelible you believe your stains to be, the rain will always return to wash the world clean again.